Oh no. Oh no. Everything's taking a dive. Oh no. Everyone's so sad. Oh no. Oh no. But like, really? Isn't this anticipated? Consider today we have a Fed minute. Consider that the OPEC have a standoff, right? Well, just let me explain. No, most of you guys probably just here because you're panicking. Probably just here because you guys only watch the entirety of my video when it's a down day. I already figured out a pattern, okay? So what really is going on today, right? So first of all, you gotta understand that is literally in the past 1 hour or in the past, I think, so if you're counting the pre-market, you all know that a lot of the future contracts are taking a dive. But the thing is, if you look at the monthly Dow Jones Index, you see this, a sharp dive, because a lot of people just realize that today we have a Fed minute, and then if Powell didn't drop anything explosive, that means whatever he said from the past meeting is gonna stand, right? Hey, what is up, everyone? This is Diligence here. And for those of you who are panicking, I mean, I feels like I'm always giving you guys the anti-panic pill. But like, we've seen this before. Like, the reason why this is happening is because the entire market is actually taking a dive. By the time I finish recording this video, the VIX is probably going to spike. So let's go see if the VIX is actually spiking or not. Oh shit, I'm right again. The VIX is spiking. Oh no. Oh fuck. Oh no. Right? Like, it's normal, okay? Like, you have a bunch of media people are saying the crash is coming, and like, okay, and you guys don't believe me? If you look at this thing, this is gonna spike too, right? This is like 3 times leverage the Nasdaq's gonna drop. And then if you look at, there's so many indicators that are just here explaining what is going on, right? Okay, you have the monthly Dow Jones Index, like a future contract. Oh, never mind. It didn't really take a really dive because it's looking forward in a monthly basis, right? So in a monthly basis, it's still okay. Like, but why isn't today everything goes to a correction, right? If you look at Nasdaq, okay, yeah, you guys are gonna be like, holy shit, this guy's a genius. But not really. Like, we can see like the entire thing is probably gonna take a dive, but then a lot of people, they have. Okay, let's just be honest, okay. So for the past 5 or 6 days, there are a bunch of people start buying Nasdaq calls like on a very high level. I think on a SPY. Do you have SPY on here? They're buying it like literally on top of here. Where's my pen? So you have a lot of bullish people like just buying shit. But the problem with this is so their strike line is over here, right? It's nowhere to be reached and it's monthly contract, okay? But the problem here is you have something. Let's go back to MMAT, okay? Because I like to see people panic when everything drops and everything, you know? And also I bought some dip too, by the way, if you guys are curious. Not even worried. And for those of you who are here for the AMC update, I mean, we both know that everybody's stop loss is at $45 and $44. So what would you do if you're a smart hedge fund? You probably would entry, right? And then iceberg. So let's go back to the daily chart. So iceberg enters, where is Friday? Iceberg enters a million share shorts, right? At least what we know so far from the data is they entered at least 1.1 million to 1.5 million short at around $57. That's why it drags the entire thing down, right? So let's just say that depending on whether they liquidate or not, if they liquidate right now, they made about no shit, they made about $10 million. But the thing is, you gotta understand these people who come late, sort of like the shorts who came in a later time. What they do is their objective is a stop you from squashing the previous shorts, because if you look at this, right, this gap down is not this gap down is the option, sort of like an option cycle weighing in, right? Because $50 was a huge strike here, $45 was a huge strike here. So basically we're going back. So AMC is like in a backward train right now. Like we're literally going back to early June right now. And then what is the real problem here is, I think a lot of you guys are blaming Trey or blaming like your leaders, right? Because if you can consider me as the MMAT guru, And then Trey, there will be the AMC group. But the thing is, you can't really blame them really because they miscalculated the FTD sort of cycle. And then when they miscalculated the FTD cycle plus the holiday weighs in, right? Because you don't really count the holidays as one of the days of the trading cycle or settlement cycle. So this entire July 4th and July 1st settlement really fucked them up. And I'm going to finish my video talking about it. And because today's drop, I have to edit some of the components I talked about the other day. Because in that video, I was suspecting that, for those of you who watched my AMC video posted a couple of days ago, I talked to you guys about this cycle, right? Like, I talked to you about this AMC, like, the AMC is GME is different. The CEO of GME just filed an S4, and he basically exercised his options at, like, a very high point. So right now, he actually is taking loss right now. But for AMC, you have a vacuum around here. Like, literally around here. So for today, the objective is literally going over $44.93. If it's go for $44.93, that means you still a support line over here. Because what happens to AMC is we FOMO too fast, and when you FOMO too fast, it gets into a pump and dump scheme, and a lot of retail will get scared when you see stuff like this. Okay, when you see stuff like this, retails get super scared and they're just gone. And then what happens when retails are gone? When retails are gone, nobody's gonna come and pick up the scrums, right? And when retails are gone, all these guys don't need to cover anymore. Because if you look at, okay, so today's volume is considerably still low, right? So let's look at how much volume this is. Sorry, it's in Chinese, so I have to so it's like a 60 million volume, right? If you counted all 60 millions as sell-offs, that means the previous threshold security list is not going to hold anymore. And we can actually find it evident in a couple of days. Because according to the SEC ruling, you will know if these guys covered on in the next 5 consecutive. So in order to sort of avoid abuse of the SEC I think a 303B1 clause abuse or the C1 clause abuse, what they do is when they cover, that they will still stay on the threshold list for another 5 days. So basically within those 5 days, we will know when they cover, right? Let's just say, but the problem is right now they don't even need to cover anymore. If retail starts selling, they don't even need to cover anymore because there are going to be excess shares coming out from this gap, okay? And then as I calculate, as I started the discussion in my Discord channel, I was talking about they miscalculated. So Trey, I adore Trey. I think he's a really funny and he's a great person. But in terms of fundamental analysis, in terms of math, he's just not as Asian as, say, me or any other, Asian streamers or YouTubers who does a lot of those calculations. And you also have to wait in a lot of situations right now happening, right? So the entire market is in contraction. Why? Because everybody's afraid that Powell is going to say something stupid. And they're going to be like, oh, inflation is going back. That's why you will see, in the past few days, you see the dollar have a dip. And you see, the gold is coming back, right? And then you see, and then what is the problem with OPEC is you see the OPEC standoff. And then OPEC standoff is actually mixed signal. Some institutional things, the oil's going to go back to 120, right? I think the next milestone is actually 80. I think they're just overly bullish or overly bearish as usual. Because you look at all the Gold Sachs boys reports, quarterly projections, they're always over bullish or over bearish. So you cannot really take their words at its finest, right? And if you look at all of the projections on people who are shorting oil, you see a spike in those. Because what they were trying to sort of project is they think UAE is going to go off the rail. Okay, it's like a rogue agent from OPEC. They think OPEC is going to dissolve. But the problem is, if you live in the Middle East, you all know that it's not that simple. The reason why it's called a cartel is because they have their own mechanism of coping with chaos. I mean, again, I am giving you guys sort of something that people don't really willing to talk about, right? And then hopefully, it's not something that the institution actually don't want you guys to know, because I want you to educate you guys. A lot of times when market dip like this, it's a correction. It's not really a crash. What is a crash? A crash is something that's more than 10%. It's something like 75% or 78%, like the dot-com boom. It takes 2 or 3 years to recover, right? But right now, you're still standing on the upper tippy toes because everybody still don't know what is going on anymore, right? Because, okay, so we're in the summer holidays. People are still consuming. Oil's demand is going to keep rising, right? This is why, in my Torchlight video, I trying to educate you guys on why the big boys are sort of buying assets at a premium, because they're looking for a short-term profit here. Because you know that the oil appreciation cycle is not really gonna last for that long, okay? And then the reason why the Torchlight isn't really that appealing is due to it's significantly underdeveloped than other things, okay? Sorry about like putting AMC on the screen, because literally we are not really an AMC gang or whatever. Because as far as I know, a lot of times the ape community doesn't really hold the time when they have to hold. They don't really buy an option contract the right time they should buy, and they don't really hold their stocks the right time they should hold. They don't buy into the stock the time that they sort of they need to buy. And a lot of times there's a difference between holding an option contract than holding a actual stock. And how the mechanism works is, if you're holding an option contract, you're not really holding the stock per se. You're holding the rights to buy or sell a stock, 100 shares of some stocks, right? I mean, we're gonna get into this, and I know a lot of you is gonna, we're gonna have a lot of haters in the next 2 months or in the reasonable future, because this channel is for long. I am not just here to do some fucking stupid pump and dump shit. And a lot of you is gonna ask questions. I'm gonna answer them. I will try to make a video answering all of your questions, all of your panicking things or whatever. I mean, as far as the state of MMAT, alright, we're lower than what we projected. We're lower than the $7.1 mark. But you might even see a pullback at the end of today, because like every Fed minute, people panic, and as I predicted, VIX is gonna spike. Did it spike? Hell yeah, it did, but it also contracted. Because whenever like everybody overreact, there's always gonna be like all these institutions will still have money. They will come in and buy out, right? Because when you sell, there's gonna be a buyer. But anyways, I think this is it for the mid market. Not really a mid market analysis, it's more like a mid market reflection. Because I still haven't figured out like how streaming works really on YouTube or on Twitch. Because I don't really want to get in trouble. I mean, again, we're not financial advisors. We do not get financial advice, okay? And everything we say on this channel is for shits and giggles. And right now, for those of you who are not panicking, for those of you who don't have clicky fingers, you guys are witnessing a very interesting math psychology play here. When something dips, a lot of people panic sell, and this is the result of a panic sell, really. Because if you watch my previous video, we already have established a price for material. Anything lower than that price, it's literally panic selling. And everything lower than that price, I mean, again, we're not financial advisors. We don't get financial advice. It's really like a buying point. And also, the fact that we are at $6 and then AMC is at $60, we have a massive advantage here. And then the reason why a lot of you are like, oh my god, you just posted a double squeeze video that's basically like trade hype. No, it's not. Let me tell you what. The reason why it's a golden opportunity is because a lot of options are penned up in a pit. And for those of you, and then the fact that the option pool actually closed for a couple of days for this stock actually plays in our favor. And I'm going to talk about this later on today, or maybe tomorrow, because I'm traveling. So I need to pack a little bit. I like to procrastinate. I need to pack and everything. The fact that a lot of us are holding stock instead of options actually plays into this threshold security sort of our agenda, okay? And we don't really want hedge funds to know what we're really up to, but because I made that video, a lot of hedge funds already know what we're up to. But a lower price, we have a lower price per share on MMAT. This plays into a huge advantage for us, because literally right now with high inflation, this is literally 1.5 sort of like bottle of coffee, right? We're at AMC around like January. The only downside for this is the market outlook is very unclear, because we have the Fed minutes. Everybody knows, right? Everybody stay on my channel knows that August is basically the market probably won't crash in August. Why? Because consumer are still consuming. I mean, again, I'm repeating myself, right? So I think I'm gonna stop right here. So then for you guys to really digest what I've been talking about in this video, and I'm gonna post it really, really fast, so then all of you won't panic and all of you won't be like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do, right? Alright, I mean, I'm sort of like the jackass of this stock community. Eventually, we're going to become a super huge channel, and we're going to have a lot of followings because I talk about the truth. But I mean, last night I was talking to number two. I was like, maybe I should learn a little bit from other YouTubers, even though they're not as technical or as finance oriented than we are. Like sometimes we gotta push out some videos to really like keep you guys on your tippy toes and sort of like anti-panic you guys a little bit. Because right now it's not the time for market crash, not yet. At least the Fed doesn't want it to crash, the government doesn't want it to crash, the entire international market doesn't want it to crash. Because you have some key dates and some key interesting things that's gonna happen in the next 2 or 3 months, and we're not there yet. The market, okay, this might sound funny, is there's a thing as if the market is ready to rise or the market ready to crash. Right now the market is not ready to crash yet. There's gonna be a temporary pullback or correction because people are setting up plays for the oil long-term projection, right? But in reality, the market is not ready to crash yet. Okay, now I just sounded like a jackass or a smartass, but I think this video is getting too long, and for those of you who just have very short attention span, you're probably not going to listen. But all the golden content are like right around now. Like for the past 5 or 6 minutes, I basically spill you what really is going to happen in the next month, or most likely if Powell doesn't do something stupid tonight. But I mean, he's the chairman of the Fed, so he's probably not going to do anything stupid. I use stupid as an endearing term. Because a lot of times when he have a hawkish or when he has a bullish or bearish outlook, it really weighs on the market. So anyways, see you guys on the upside, and just keep calm and carry on, dude. Like do something else. A lot of times those temporary corrections really weighs you down. And like in terms of long-term projection, dude, if you watch my other videos, I told you we're still in the 11-day cycle to 19-day cycle, not yet. And this is a slow play. We don't want all these formal shit coming in, right? We don't want to gather a lot of attention yet, because we want to keep a lot of those profit to our community, because our community is relatively small right now. And yeah, anyways, just stop panicking. Keep on your toes. Call your loved ones. Say you love them. Say be honest with them. Be like, yo, I lost some money today on the market, and I'm feeling really shitty right now. Can I talk to you? Like, can we have dinner? Or like talk to your wife or husband, be like, yo, can we get off work today early and let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this, and you're my anchor. Let's really talk about this. I'm losing money in the market. Like, what do you think? Because for a lot of you, our viewers, you are like 35 to 60 years old, right? At least 60% of you are. And you're playing with your 401k or playing with your retirement money. Set your stop losses. You should really view the stock market as a gambling pick, okay? If it reaches a certain level where you feel uncomfortable with losing the money, just get out. It's rather to be safe than sorry, really. Okay? And again, at the end of the video, we have to talk about this. We're not financial advisors. We do not give financial advice. And everything we say on this channel is for shits and giggles. And look at this price and look at when I started the video, right? I think I talked for like 20 minutes straight, but this is golden content, okay? I feel like I should offer those content on Patreon rather than actually just offer it on YouTube. But anyways, as I said, we should reach 1,000 subs as fast as possible so I can actually start streaming, and we can have community polls so then a lot of you follow us on Twitter. I mean, again, follow us on Twitter, comment down below, like the video, sub if you haven't yet, okay? And also join the Discord channel too. See you on the upside.